Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well and I hope that you have a magnificent day. I'm here to do an intuitive card reading to see what insights, messages, and guidance the universe would like to share with us at this time, especially in regards to surrender, letting go, and trusting the process, which can be very, very hard for our human egos. So hard, but if we can learn to let go and not be so fixated on the outcome, if we can, find more joy in the process, to savor the ride as we go along the way, to not get caught up in needing outcomes to be a certain way, it's going to start opening up all these doors to all these possibilities that we never even realized were there. But let's take a look at the cards and see what else the universe wants us to know. Okay, so the first card we have is New Moon in Sagittarius. Focus on the positive. Yeah, it's not that the universe is saying ignore what's in front of your face. Let people mistreat you. Let them abuse you. Let them neglect you and be disrespectful. And act like nothing's bothering you and sweep things under the rug. Pretend like everything's great. That's not what the universe is saying. The universe doesn't want you to be in denial. It doesn't want you to, be like, everything's great, slapping a pretend smile on your face when you're freaking out inside and you need help. But the universe wants you to focus on the positive, because all too often it feels like in modern society, the emphasis is always on the negative. Like, my family never watched the news because they're like, ugh, it's just a bunch of negativity anyway. But when everything on there is just constantly, it's like, oh, look at these murders, look at these fires, look at this stuff. Like, literally, my mom will start complaining about how every week in the newspaper, she'll read it over the weekend, that there's all this theft and all these crimes and all these things, and it's like every single week. Yeah, like, acknowledge the reality of the situation. Don't be like, there's no problem, la 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 la. But the thing is, you want to focus on the positive. You want to focus on the solution, not so much on the problem. Because, when people are like, oh, it's a war on drugs, a war on poverty, this, that, and the other, it's like you're putting the focus on what you don't want. You're putting the focus on the problem. You're focusing on poverty, on drugs, on crime, on all these things. It's not the solution. You're creating more of what you don't want. Because what you resist persists. So if you're going on and spending all this time, energy, and attention on the things you don't want, whether it be the lack in your finances, the conflict in your relationships, how you have a toxic up, like all these things may be true. Don't be in denial, but how can you focus on the positive? How can you shift your mindset to start looking for the good? Because as Uncle Iroh says, if you look for the light, you can often find it. But if you look for the dark, that's all you ever see. It's like my family. They're constantly complaining. They're constantly being negative. They're having limiting beliefs, these negative narratives on broken record. They're just like yelling and screaming and fighting with each other all the time. And it's just like they immediately will pick up on all these things to complain about, all these things that frustrate them, all these things that they can't stand. And it's just like literally good things could be happening and they're just like blocking that. And it's like, no, but this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And it's like, okay, but what about this good thing? And this good thing, and this good thing, and they just don't want to hear it. So the universe is saying, what momentum are you building? What are you attracting into your life? What are you in resonance with? What's your energetic frequency? Because if you're wanting all this positive change, if you're wanting solutions, if you're wanting abundance and healthy relationships and this, that, and the other, if you're focusing on putting your energy and your time and your attention on the opposite, you're not going to be able to be a match to it, And so this is why they understand, hey, focus on the positive. Don't, stick your head in the sand and be like, la, 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 there are no problems. But we can identify the problem and then focus on what we want, focusing on the positive, focusing on silver linings, focusing on bright sides, because We are putting ourselves as an energetic match to solutions, to things working out for us. If we're speaking death and illness and all this over ourselves and be like, nothing ever works out for me, everything always goes wrong, nothing ever goes right. Like, this is kind of things that my family are constantly saying. Is it really a surprise when that comes to pass? And so what are you expecting? What are you focusing on? What are you choosing? Because it's going to make a world of a difference. And that's part of the reason why the universe was coming in and saying that we need to surrender, to let go, to trust, and to enjoy the ride. Because regardless of the outcome, like, we may think, because like maybe we have this intuitive knowing that we're meant to do a certain thing. Well, the way you're trying to do it may not be the best fit, may not be the thing that's going to work out for you, but it's a stepping stone. It's going to help you meet the people, and then you're going to, pivot, you're going to tweak, and you're going to be able to find the thing that works best. But if you're so fixated, it's like, no, this is the thing, this is the thing, this is the thing. Why am I not getting the results? Why am I not getting the results? I know this is the thing. I'm supposed to be doing this. You're not in the match of what you want, which is why if you can let go, you can surrender and just trust, enjoying things to the best of your ability, because we're all human. I have my moments too. I am human. I can get frustrated and be like, why isn't it working out? It could be little or big things, but that's why the universe is saying focus on the positive. Focus on the positive, because it's going to help line up the dominoes for things to work out for you. And know that the universe is working magic and miracles on your behalf behind the scenes, New Moon in Libra, know you're unloved. Yeah. The universe adores us so much. It has such profound, deep, unconditional love for us. It genuinely wants us to thrive, to succeed, to be in healthy, loving relationships, to have our dream life, to live in beautiful homes, to be able to eat good food, to be able to pursue our passions. And it wants us to know that we're loved, because a lot of the reasons that we can, settle for less, play small, dim our light and all that is because we're thinking we're not loved, that we're not good enough, that we're not worthy, we lack the confidence, we're insecure, we're full of doubt, we're full of fear, which is false evidence appearing real. And the universe saying, forget all of that. Like, not that you shouldn't process and feel whatever you need to feel. The universe isn't wanting you to neglect yourself and be in denial again, but it wants you to know you're loved. And that's all that matters. Like, you are inherently worthy. You are enough because you are. Because the universe, the divine, God, source, creator, whatever you want to label it, chose to make you into being. You went from imagination to reality. You were manifested through the divine. So you're loved and you deserve good things just because you are. You're inherently worthy. We're the works in progress and the masterpiece at the same time. So just remember that you're loved. And that can help you, surrender and trust more, because okay, I'm divinely loved. The universe has its perfect divine timing, its master plan. Things are going to work out for my highest good. I can let go. I don't have to control everything. I don't have to force things. I don't have to be, pushing harder and harder and harder, trying to force it to happen, grinding and hustling. It's like, okay, yes, I need to put in the work, but I can also trust for the universe to pick up its end, because we're co-creating together, Yeah. New moon in Cancer, relax. This is a lot of new moon energy. Wow. But yeah, the universe wants us to slow down, to remember to breathe, to relax, to rest, to replenish, to fill up our cup, to take care of ourselves, to know that we don't have to have the weight of the world on our shoulders. We don't have to do it all, because honestly, we can't do it all. Like, yes, because we are the divine incarnate, we have so much potential. There's so many things that we can do, but realistically, our human vessel has limits, and you only have so much time and energy in a day. Doesn't mean you can't do more things, the following day, but the universe is saying, relax. You can get help. You don't have to do it all on your own, whether that's the help from the people around you or the divine, the universe working things out on your behalf behind the scenes, because so often, you'll think, oh, I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to do this. I have to call these people. I have to take care of this. And then if you can just focus on what's the priority right now, relaxing, taking a step back and be like, I don't need to have all this on my plate. The universe can take care of it for you. People can start reaching out to you or be like, oh yeah, remember how we were going to meet up? Like, I already took care of this. All you need to do is X, Y, Z. And it can take care of things for us. We don't have to do it all. So we can surrender. We can let go. We can trust and relax. We can breathe easy and enjoy the ride more. Because we're going to get to the final destination. We're going to get to wherever we're going. No matter what, the universe has our back and is working things out in our favor. We're going to get there. We don't need to rush. We don't need to burn ourselves out getting there. Okay. First quarter moon in Scorpio, release your blocks. Yeah, the blocks can be, self-sabotage, unhealthy coping mechanisms, limiting beliefs and negative narratives about how you're not good enough, you'll never be enough, you're unlovable, you can't be successful, your finances will never work out, whatever it is. We all have them. We all have them. We're all human. And the divine loves us anyway. So the universe is like, hey, just relax, release, let go, allow yourself to feel and process so this can be, released and not be all blocked up in you. We can have an easier life. We don't have to take it all on ourselves. We don't have to live up to other people's impossible standards and expectations of perfection, because no one can do that. We're perfectly imperfect. We're human beings. We're flawed. We're the masterpiece and the work in progress at the same time. So we can relax. We can trust and let go. We don't have to force things. We don't have to hold ourselves to these impossible standards and then beat ourselves up and guilt trip ourselves and all these things because we didn't live up to it. Saying, we don't need to do that anymore. We can enjoy life more, to savor it, to stop and smell the roses. We don't have to make life so hard for ourselves, because a lot of times it's us doing it to ourselves. Let's be real. Yeah, the turkey grounding. A lot of us, when we get all in our mental mind space and we're having these thoughts running a mile a minute, and we're going through those anxious anxiety attacks with our heart beating a mile a minute, and we're just freaking out, and we're like, oh, we got to do this and that and the other, and how is it ever going to work out? It's it's time to get grounded. It's time to stabilize yourself. We don't need to keep doing this to ourselves. We don't. Society has kind of conditioned us to live this way, but that doesn't mean that this is healthy or the way it should be. And so if we can take time to ground, to relax, to breathe, to trust, things are going to work out so much better. But if we're full of all this doubt all the time, not saying doubt is inherently bad, it's natural human emotion, it's part of the human experience. Feel what you got to feel. My aunt, she says this for the longest time, your emotions are valid, but your perspective may not be true. Your feelings are valid. Feel however you feel. Allow yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't criticize yourself. Let it out of your system, because emotions are energy in motion. Emotions, energy in motion. And so if you start, trying to sweep them under the rug, sidestep them, bury them, act like they're not there, they're going to get stuck in you. They're not going to be able to flow and be released. There's not going to be the energy in motion. So ground yourself, know that you're safe, know that you're loved, know that you're enough, and allow yourself to breathe, to trust, to relax. It's going to be okay. Even if we don't have all the answers, even if we don't have it all together, even if we're, missing certain skills we think we should have or whatever, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Yeah. The squirrel preparation. The universe has our back. It's preparing us with everything we need. Which is why I feel like some of these people that I've been observing at large, and also with my family, is that people are freaking out because the old ways aren't working anymore, and the universe is trying to prepare us for what's coming next. It's like, hey, it's time to let this go. You don't need to keep carrying all this baggage with you. All this extra dead weight is weighing you down. You can let it go. Let it come to the surface. Allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to see it. Allow yourself to listen to what's coming up instead of trying to hide it away and bury it all the time. Because we're going to level up. We're reaching the next level as a society, as a collective, as individuals. And so the universe is preparing us. But not everybody is seeing it that way. They'll look at the negative. They'll feel like the universe is conspiring against them. And it's like, that's not true. The universe is conspiring in your favor. Even if it doesn't look like it, initially. Because, like for instance, what happened to me at the end of last year with that toxic group and the narcissist, there was all these horrible, horrible smear campaigns, and they all, betrayed me, and they backstabbed me, and they're all, like, dragging my name through the mud, and, like, trying to, like, attack me, and trying to, like, provoke me into things, and, like, all these things. And you would say, like, that's horrible, like, that's the universe working against you, like, how is that a thing? And it's like, yeah, it was horrible, it was painful, it was messy, like, it was super disrespectful and all these things, but the universe was preparing me for what was to come. It was showing me patterns and cycles. Like, after all that happened, it had me looking at all of the relationships in my life to that point, ones that, have fallen away and ones that are still present, and I'm like, this is a thing that happens in my life a lot. People don't value me, like, and they start gaslighting and invalidating, like, oh my goodness. And it's because the universe was preparing me. It's preparing me for the next level of actual healthy relationships, because I have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Like, I'm noticing things that I didn't notice before. And so, yes, it can feel like unpleasant and uncomfortable and, disappointing and disheartening and even downright painful. And you may cry yourself to sleep at times. Like, I had some of that with what happened before, but the universe is preparing us. It's preparing us. It's conspiring in our favor, even if it doesn't look like it on paper initially, okay? Like, the universe is working things out for us, but it doesn't always take the shape that we initially think it would take. Yeah, the owl wisdom. It's preparing us with the wisdom that we need. Like, I did the deep dive on narcissism, and I did the research, and I now know way more about that, and I'm pretty sure I can spot the flags and the signs and all that now. Did not pick that up last time, and probably other times in my relationships in general, like the one friend that fell away. My best friend's mom was commenting about how they have a lot of narcissistic traits, and I'm like, oh yeah, I do notice that now that I know more about narcissism. Interesting. But yeah, like, you are being set up for success. You are giving the wisdom, the preparation. That's why the universe is saying, hey, it's okay. You can let go. You can relax, ground, know you're loved, focus on the positive, because yes, there was a whole lot of negatives that came out of that whole experience with the toxic group and the narcissist. It was awful. Like, I was so drained and like used me as an emotional punching bag and just like used me as a disposable tool and all these things. But the flip side of that is that I gained a lot of wisdom. I grew stronger as a person. Like, I stayed in the integrity of my character. I didn't let them, drag me down to their level and start playing their games. I stayed true to myself. So it's like, yeah, it's not always the way we want, but even if it's really uncomfortable and painful, it might be what we need, So we can level up, and so we can break these old patterns and cycles. And sometimes it's not going to happen unless we go through those trials and tribulations, as much of a pain and challenge that they are. Sometimes that's what we need. And so the universe is setting us up for success. We have held. May you feel the ocean's caress. And that's the universe letting you know that you're held. The universe sees you. The divine sees you. It's here listening to you. It has your back. Like, it is here supporting you every step of the way. It's guiding you. It's protecting you. Like, these rejections and denials, like, as much as they can be hurt, and our human ego can be like, no, and like have end of the world type feelings, that's the universe protecting us. Me getting rejected and, outcast and, all of that with that toxic group of the narcissist, it was really painful because, I was thinking we were all friends and we we're all like on the same page. We all had each other's back. It hurt, but that rejection was the universe protecting me, because once I got out of it, I saw how drained and unhappy I had been around them, because honestly, it was my family 2.0. So much complaining, so much negativity, so much, expecting the worst, limiting beliefs, negative narratives, all of that. And so the universe has you. It's that one saying that, like, I'm trying to remember if it was like a specific story or what, but this man was walking on the beach and he turned around and he looked back, and, there was only one set of footprints when, he had gone through a trial, and he's like, well, where were you? Talking to God, the universe, maybe Jesus. I don't remember specifically what it was, but the response was, I was there with you the whole time. I was carrying you when you couldn't go any farther. So the universe saying, hey, I got you. I got you. Even if it doesn't look like it, I'm here with you, supporting you, guiding you, nurturing you, loving you for all of your days. Even if it doesn't always feel like it, even if it can feel like we're so alone and we're being slighted and like everything's against us, the universe isn't. The universe isn't. It's on our team all the way, our number one cheerleader. Yeah, believe. May the sea deepen your faith. Like, the universe wants us to believe, to have hope, to have faith, to trust. Because so often our lives aren't what we want because we're not believing. We don't have the faith. We don't have the hope. We don't have the trust. We buy into lack. We buy into fear. We buy into doubt. We buy into, like, I guess this is good enough. I gotta settle for less. I gotta dim my light. I gotta play small because there's not enough. Lack, insecurity, all of that. And the universe is saying, hey, believe. The word impossible literally says, I'm possible. Trust, surrender, go with the flow, and allow us to co-create together. The universe has your back. They've got this. But if you are expecting the worst, that's what you're going to get. You don't have faith. And, my family will always be like, oh, I'll believe it when I see it. But the thing is, in order for you to see it, you have to believe it on some level. Even if it was just programmed into you by other people's beliefs when you were a child. Like, on some level, you have to believe it. Because a lot of times, we have these blinders on and we don't see it. Because, like, the quote with Uncle Iroh, if you look for the light, you can often find it. But if you look for the dark, that's all you'll ever see. With my family, they're always looking for the dark, always looking for the negative, and like, see, look. And it's their confirmation bias. So like, look, see, I was right. See, it's not possible. It's not easy. It's hard. Everything goes wrong. And it's just like, that's because that's what you're believing. That's because that's what you're speaking into existence. There's power in the tongue. So, yeah, like, in order to see it, you have to believe it. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Especially if you're like, oh man, my life isn't going out the way I wanted it. It's like, you could have unconscious limiting beliefs. I'm there with you. I'm working through it. I'm trying to heal it. But it's time for us to believe in greater things, in brighter days, that the universe has our back. Because if we don't, like, what kind of life is that? I look at my family who they don't believe in, like, the good and all the possibilities, that the universe has her back, the divine source creator, whatever. Like, my one brother, he's like, I don't believe in God, and it's like, Okay, that's your prerogative, but you are also a very miserable person. I can see that in you, and no one's actually helping you. They're just enabling your bad habits and like supplying you with more alcohol, more drugs, and all that. And it's like, they're not helping you. You're just on this downward spiral, and you do need help. But then again, it's also the belief system. Like, he doesn't seem to want help truly, and he doesn't seem to believe that things can get better. So that's a whole thing. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So what are we believing, guys? Because our beliefs can work with us or work against us. It's not the universe conspiring against us, because the universe conspires for us. And the universe is asking for us to get more expansive. May you connect to the whole. May you connect to the divine. May you connect to the universe. May you get in alignment and have that inspiration, because when you're in the flow, when you're trusting, when you're surrendering, you're expecting good things. That's when these divine, intuitive insights come in, the messaging, and you're just like, that's a great idea. Let me follow up on that. Oh, let me follow up on that. But, there are the people who's like, I don't know. And the doubt and the insecurity and the fear and all that starts creeping in. And so they don't do anything with it. They forget about the idea. And then it turns out that someone else does it, because the universe wants us to bring things into creation, into existence. And if we're not going to be the conduit for, the universe is going to use somebody else who's willing to do the expansion, willing to do the growth, willing to trust, willing to believe. And so the universe is saying, hey, you don't have to do it alone. Connect to the divine whole. Connect to source, because it's going to open up all these doors for you. It really is. But it's up to you to decide. May you navigate with purpose. So many people, from my observations, are just on autopilot. They're not consciously thinking. They're going through life, through the motions. They're miserable. They're numbing out. They're using all these unhealthy coping mechanisms. And this isn't me trying to judge. This is just my observation. It's just like, we as a collective have some work to do. But again, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I've been trying to, point things out to my family my whole life. They don't want to listen. And it's just like, it just boggles my mind, because it's like, you're being told in so many different ways, and like, it just boggles my mind. But it's their choice. The universe respects their free will. So if they're going to choose to expect the worst, to think that everything always goes wrong, nothing ever goes right, it's just like, well, that's how they're deciding to live. That's their free will. And the universe is going to try to guide them. It's still going to provide all these lessons for them. But again, like, it's their choice. So what are you deciding? Are you navigating your life with intention, with purpose? Are you being selective and mindful with what you do? Or are you just like giving your time, energy, and attention to anything and everything? Is it in alignment? Are you inspired? It's something to think about. Because we have the free will. We have growth. You're experiencing growth and expansion in all areas of your life. Expansion again. You are on the right path and moving towards greater fulfillment and success. And that's the thing. Even if it doesn't look like it, even if things are falling away and falling apart, and, you're having these setbacks and delays and rejections, and, you're having breakdowns, you're still growing. And, the breakdowns become breakthroughs. Things falling apart become things falling into place. And, with me, I've been feeling for a while now that I need to start, focusing more on my, passive income, online business type things, this channel, all of that. But I've had time, put into more, pet sitting, babysitting, tutoring, and all that. Well, the needs of the families I'm working with are shifting. So it's like, there's not as much need for me, so I'm getting less and less hours. And, I could be, buying into the fear of the false evidence appearing real and freaking out. Past me probably would have, because it's not the most amount of income, but, it's a for sure thing. Now, the for sure thing has dwindled a lot, and, I could be like, oh my goodness, but this is freeing me up for what I felt was right anyway, that I was supposed to be investing more time and energy into these things. I'm supposed to be planting more of these seeds. And so, yes, things are falling away. They're falling apart. They're dwindling. But it's so I can grow. It's so I can head in this new direction. It's this transition phase, because I'm not all the way out of it, but it's like it's been going less and less as the years have gone by. And so, like, my income has been diminishing, but it's like I surrender that the universe has my back and that these things are going to start picking up. I don't know the exact timing. I don't have the universe's master plan and all that, but I trust that the universe is helping me grow in the right ways, that it's putting me on the right path. And so far, it's felt like very much in alignment, which is good. Yeah, this very much is a starting over. Like, I feel like I'm kind of going back to square one in a variety of ways. But you're presented with the opportunity for a fresh start and new beginnings. Release regrets and embrace the present moment with openness and optimism. Yeah. Again, I could have been like, if I was like my family, been like, oh my goodness, like, because like what happened with the pandemic, all of my multiple jobs with the school system gave me the boot because they wanted to cut costs, and they told me I wasn't good enough, this and the other. And like, I was kind of okay with it because I wanted to start pursuing other things. But at the same time, like, there's this insecurity, like, okay, what am I going to do with finances? Because I was working all these jobs, all these hours, and I still wasn't having enough to like get out on my own. But that was a fresh start to start me on the passive income journey, to start learning, to gather more skills, more resources, more tools. And this feels like another one where I'm, having the old fall away to make space for the new. The old chapter has to close in order for the new chapter to begin, kind of thing, And so I'm open and optimistic for it, because I know that this can pick up at any time. I have planted many seeds. Things can come together, The same is true for you. The same is true for you. Yeah. Progression. You're experiencing forward movement and the sequential unfolding of events. Trust the natural flow of life and take steps towards your goals with confidence. Yeah. The universe wants us to trust, to believe, to surrender, to have faith, to go with confidence and optimism, knowing that the universe's divine timing and master plan is perfection. It's aligned for our highest good. So even if our human mind and ego can't understand it and thinks it's horrible, that doesn't mean it's true. The universe is constantly guiding and protecting and supporting us, helping us get to where we want to go. We are making progress, even if it doesn't look like it, even if it means, you need more time and you're having like alone time and you're not having to work at your job because hours got cut, whatever. It's like, well, that could be so you could work on yourself, because doing the inner work, that can make so much more progress than trying to grind and hustle and push and power through in the external world with like a job. And we're progressing towards the abundance. Financial abundance and success are on the horizon. Stay focused and disciplined. Keep showing up. Keep believing. Keep the hope alive. Trust and have faith. If you throw in the towel, you're not going to see it. That doesn't mean we don't, pivot and make adjustments and, tweak our plans, because sometimes we start off on one path and we come to realize, oh, this isn't actually the best path for me, but I can kind of like turn here and divert and like have the same kind of avenue, but it's not the same thing. Like, we can do that. But if we give up, if we stop trying, if we're like, nope, gotta go back to the old ways, like this didn't work out, like I trusted and it all blew up in my face. You could be like mere moments from your success, from your abundance, from all this achievements, from all this growth and blessings, it could be right around the corner, but you gave up too soon. And a lot of times with this, the universe kind of tests us. It puts us through trials and tribulations to see if we're ready, to see if we're prepared, because the universe doesn't want to give it to us before we're prepared, because if it gives the things, the blessings, the magic, the miracles, the things that we truly want before we're ready, they can slip through our fingers and it can crush us. And then we could have even less faith and trust and confidence and security than before. So the universe wants to make sure all the ducks are in a row kind of thing, you know? But it is coming, so keep showing up. Keep believing. It's going to work out. Right? Hope lives in you. It does. It's a choice you can make. It's a feeling and a mindset you can nurture. It can be your light in the dark. It's inside of you. Everything you need is inside of you, even if you haven't found it yet. But you can choose to believe. You can choose to trust, to have faith, to keep the hope alive. And, you know, sometimes it can get pretty dim because of, you know, challenges that we faced, rejections, you know, all this disrespect and mistreatment and all that. But you can keep the hope alive. Me personally, if people knew all the things I've been through, like, I've been so close to just be like, I can't take it anymore. Just log me off of life. I'm done. I can't take it anymore. It's too much. I feel like I just can't do it anymore. It's too heavy. But I chose to stick it out. Wasn't easy. But at the same time, even though so many people have mistreated me, have treated me horribly, done me dirty, smeared my good name, invalidated me, gaslighted me, all these things, I still know humanity is good, that not everybody's like that. Just because I've met literally so many of them in all aspects of my life, you know, my family wasn't nurturing and supportive and loving, and very cold, disconnected, and, you know, childish, and expecting me to be the parent even though I was a small child, a parent to all my siblings and my parents. It's the whole thing. But I have hope for better days. Like, I have hope that I'm going to find my abundance, that I'm going to find my success, that I'm going to find more friends who are on my frequency that actually will treat me and, you know, reciprocate my giving. It won't just be me giving and other people taking, and that I'll find the life partner, and that I'll be able to start a loving family and give my children what I never received. Like, I have hope for that. I believe it's possible. Even though I have been in the thick of darkness like all my life. And that's the thing. It's in the dark where hope shines brightest, where the stars can truly shine. And so hope lives in you. Don't give up yet. Feel what you need to feel. Process it. Journal. Meditate. Pray. Go to therapy. Whatever it is you need to help get you through this. But keep the hope alive. Because you're becoming unstoppable. So many things have tried. But you're still here. You've overcome all the past challenges and hurdles thus far. You've survived all of your hardest days. You're still here. You're becoming unstoppable because you're getting more confident. You're learning to surrender and trust. You're keeping the faith alive. You know, you're being optimistic. You're looking for the positive. You're being open. You're showing up every day. Like, you're becoming unstoppable. You're being prepared for success. You're being handed all this wisdom. And, like, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Past you, people might have been able to, you know, pull one over on you and got you to, you know, doubt yourself, question yourself, feel like you weren't worthy. Not so much anymore. You're becoming this newer, better version of yourself, and you're going to be unstoppable. It's really a sight to behold. But yeah, it's still okay to rest, to relax, to take a breather, to take a break. Yes, you're becoming unstoppable. Yes, keep the hope alive. Yes, keep showing up. But you don't have to try so hard. You don't have to force things. You don't have to have the weight of the world on your shoulders, okay? You can still rest. The universe isn't going to abandon you. It's not going to forsake you. It's not going to forget you. It's still here for you. Again, you're held. The universe is here supporting you always. You can rest. Sometimes it's when you rest that the most things can happen. Like, that's part of the reason why I want to do passive income, because you can literally make money while you sleep, while you rest. You can be on vacation and still be making money. And that's one thing that I want to show my family, because they so believe in the traditional jobs. And I'm not, trying to throw shade at traditional jobs. They're important. But like, my whole family's been in this lack mentality. They haven't had enough. They're always at these jobs they can't stand, and they think that's the way you have to do it. And it's like, I want to show them there are other ways, Whether or not they'll have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, and I'll bring them to the water, but who knows if they'll drink. That's up for them to decide. Right? Quill, get back to basics. Back to the basics of what lights you up inside, what's truly important. Like, I'll look around and I'll observe, and so many people are putting all these things on, these pedestals, and it's like, but family, genuine, deep, meaningful connection, enjoying life, hobbies and passion, like, all of that's falling by the wayside. And, not that we shouldn't work, we shouldn't, have money to put a roof over our heads or anything like that, but it's like, we need to get back to basics. We need to stop burning ourselves out and get back to what truly matters. And looking at ways we can do things differently so we can take care of ourselves better, so we can have those deep, meaningful connections with our loved ones again. Back to the basics of looking at the positive. Yeah, like stepping into a new experience. And it's because you're relaxing, you're trusting, you're surrendering, you're believing, knowing you're loved. Like, you're stepping into this new experience and you're trusting. You're like, okay, I haven't done this before. It's kind of scary. I'm uncertain. I'm a little insecure, but I'm going to trust, and I'm going to, not fixate too much on the outcome and just try to enjoy the ride and see where it leads. And that's how life is meant to be. It's supposed to be more of an adventure, Yeah, tulip. Great passion. Like, you're supposed to be more enjoyable, having adventure, curiosity, discovering things, pursuing our passions, our interests, what lights us up inside. That doesn't mean it's always going to be like that. We live in a 3D reality, a 3D duality, where not everything's to our preference. There are going to be some things we dislike and we can't change. We don't have control over the traffic or weather or what other people choose, but overall, we should be in love with life. We should savor the little things and have more passion and love and excitement in our life, more optimism. Table, hard work ahead, yeah. And it could just be hard work shifting your mindset, rewiring the narratives in your head. The hard work of actually sitting with yourself, making space for your feelings, seeing and listening without judgment to what's coming up so you can heal it, so you can process it. Like, that's hard work. It can be kind of easy to run away from our problems and our feelings and be like, nope, everything's great, sidestep, sweep it on the rug, bury, but we got to release these blocks. We got to work on grounding and healing. And yeah, when we do all this, Diamond, you will be receiving or giving a precious gift, and it feels like the gift is you and also showing other people and yourself new ways of doing things. It doesn't have to be the old ways. It doesn't have to be what society has decided is normal and right. There are other ways. And you can shine like a diamond, like the star you are. The universe is setting you up for this success, guys, and it's going to be amazing. Nest, an emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. And this could be you, helping your family heal, helping you build your own family. Like, you're going to have success. You're going to have love. You're going to have your dream life. It's going to work out for you. You're being prepared for it. So let's try to do our best to surrender, to let go, to trust, to believe, to have confidence, and to expect good things, because things are working out in our favor, even if we can't see it yet. Even if we don't see the results, the universe is working magic and miracles on our behalf behind the scenes. It's got our back. So I'm wishing you all a wonderful rest of your day. Sending you so much love. Please take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.